Friday the 14th of March, not exactly how I wanted to be starting my day. My tooth is absolutely killing me. I'm not exactly sure what's going on, but I need to go see the dentist. I got to get over to the emergency dentist. They're open at 8 o'clock in the morning and they only take 2 people, and it's first come first serve. So it's not hurting me right now, but the minute I drink anything hot or cold or try to eat anything at all with any kind of temperature variant, I am in excruciating pain. So got to get over there and hopefully they are able to see me, because I don't think I could spend the weekend doing this. Either that or I'll have to find some sort of other place. But I don't know of anywhere else. This is my dentist. This is where I've been going for 20 years. So, oh, it hurts now. All right. No more talking. See you later. There we go. The pain has subsided for now. Oh. Unlucky for you, because now I can talk a bit more. Not even sure which. I think it's down here, the back one. I'm not 100% sure. And I know I had a crown put in here on the top one, maybe 2 years ago. But it's definitely one of these two. But you know, with dental pain, you can never really tell. But tell you one thing, it is extremely excruciating whenever, especially if I drink anything cold. So I'm hoping these wonderful people down here can take care of it, and if they can't, I don't know what to do. I've never been to another dentist around here, so I have no idea what exists. That would mean a lot of Googleizing and tippy-tappy on the keyboards. Like a lot of the little keyboard warriors that write comments in my comment section, you know. I love it all. So I was able to get in. I was correct. They do only have 2 emergency appointments in the morning times between 8 and 10, and apparently I was one of the lucky people that actually got in. I'm just waiting to be seen now, and hopefully they'll take care of me. So I'm in a chair waiting. I got some x-rays taken. Actually, look, see? That's my teeth on the screen. So they're gonna have the dentist come in, take a look at that, and we will go from there. It's so painful right now though. I didn't realize I had such a huge impacted wisdom tooth that's hitting one of my other teeth right there. That could be the problem, but we'll see. Back at home with the dogs. Just got done with the dentist. He's referring me to another dentist friend of his who needs to build a brace here. Apparently, because I've had a tooth extracted here years and years ago, it's going to be like a problem that I'm sort of munching down on this one tooth constantly. He thinks that it's not a tooth problem per se, not a nerve problem. It's the ligaments. He says that the ligaments that are holding the tooth in are being just bombarded every day when I'm chewing, and he said I need a little bit of help, so I need a bridge, something to distribute the weight a little bit better. He's put me in touch with his friend who can do that. It's significant cost, of course. He says it's probably going to cost around $6,000, but that's the wonderful medical system we have here in America, you know. Just to make money, just to give money away. Anyway, that's the update on the dentist. Waiting on him this afternoon. He's already sent off my x-rays and told me his buddy should be able to get that started very soon. And he says the x-ray will do is the consultation, and he'll get working on building the bridge and the false tooth for me. All right, bye-bye. It's a little bit later in the afternoon. I just finished a phone call with the other dentist. My dentist put me in touch with him. He's over in Medford. He's able to see me this Monday at 10 o'clock in the morning, and he initially said that yes, the dental bill could cost around about $6,000, but as I have dental insurance, that if he writes it out correctly, they should possibly, he didn't promise anything, he said they should possibly pay for maybe about 50% off the cost. So that would be wonderful. But we'll see how that goes. In the meantime, I just got to take pain medication, and try not to chew on my tooth, which is harder said than done. But heading over on Monday morning to see that dentist. And hopefully he will get the process started to get this bridge thing built. Look at it's nice out here. It's actually nice out here. I can sit out here in a t-shirt. It's not absolutely freezing. So the weather's changing. That's the update on the teeth. I'll keep you posted and let you know. Not that you care, but I'll let you know. This is more for me. This is more for me like a diary. So, or how do you say it in America? Diary. There you go. This is more like a diary for me. So I'll keep you updated on the dentistry thing, and maybe I'll jump on here later and talk about something else. Who knows? It's hurting right now. Maybe it's because I'm talking too much. Okay, we're live. What are we going to do?
I don't know. I don't do this usually. This is your go.
So I mentioned before that my husband was more than willing to come and do some videos with me. This is my husband. Hi, I'm Mark.
I'm also Mark.
So how long have we been together?
Just over 25 years.
25 years. So
long time.
Yeah, too long. What's our subject we're talking about tonight?
I don't know. We didn't really plan in advance. You just wanted to introduce me.
Well, what are you going to talk about?
The only thing I can think to talk about is how it's St. Patrick's Day weekend, and here in Boston, that's a pretty big holiday.
And I'm Irish.
He is Irish, but he hates St. Patrick's Day.
I don't hate St. Patrick's Day.
At least here in this country.
Yeah, get your words right. I don't hate St. Patrick's Day.
The traditional St. Patrick's Day meal that most Americans think of is not even slightly Irish, which I was surprised to find out when I first met him. And for that reason, this one hates the corned beef and hash. Or no, corned beef and cabbage, right?
Corned beef and cabbage.
I don't know. I don't eat meat, so these words are foreign to me.
Well, how I was introduced to corned beef and cabbage was that I worked in a restaurant at the time, and my boss, I didn't know that St. Patrick's Day was so huge over here. I'm talking 25 years ago.
Yes.
So it was like the boss comes in and he goes, I have 300 pounds of corned beef there for you to cook. And just so you know, I was a chef. I said, what's corned beef? And he's like, come on, it's your traditional food. And I was like, it is?
And this was when he was basically fresh off the boat, too.
Yeah. I was like, we don't eat that,
No.
you know? And he's like, for fuck's sake, it's corned beef and cabbage. It's your traditional Irish dinner. I'm like, okay, well, I'll give it a go. I'll try to cook it. But anyway, that was my introduction. I had never heard of corned beef and cabbage before. And again, I'm also from Northern Ireland. We definitely don't have it there. There is a boiled ham dinner that there is in the south of Ireland, which wouldn't even be a traditional meal. It's like you have that, once or twice a month. You get a boiled ham, a cabbage, and potatoes. But I guess they sort of took that upon themselves in New York originally. Was when I looked at the history, it was a Jewish meal in New York that they actually converted into their St. Patrick's dinner with the corned beef and cabbage. Anyway, there's a history lesson for you tonight. So,
at the time when we met, for the first 5, 6, 7 years of our relationship, we lived in South Boston, which is the infamous home of the Boston St. Patrick's Day Parade, and that's where all the festivities occurred. And still occur, right?
Accord? What the hell did you say?
I started to say it like it was Spanish, acurio. Acurio, see? Like it occurred. And so it came out funny. Sorry. But at the time, when he had to work in the Irish restaurant, that's what he did for St. Patrick's Day. So it wasn't a holiday. After he stopped working in the restaurant, we decided to start just leaving the area on St. Patrick's Day, and we would leave first thing in the morning.
Yep, we get up at like 7 in the morning and just get out of we'd even get out of the state. We would go to New Hampshire.
Yeah, you just couldn't, if you weren't participating, you were stuck in your house. So it was like you had to just basically leave.
Yeah, and participating means getting drunk.
Yeah. Or having to clean up after drunk people.
Cleaning up after the drunk people.
Yeah, there used to be, when we started the dog walking company, it was a terrible day to walk dogs in South Boston.
What about South Boston?
It was just, you had to leave. And then when we started the dog walking business, since we've had the dog walking business, we realized we can't accept allow people to schedule dog walks or anything on St. Patrick's Day in South Boston because they literally block off all the streets. You can't get in, you can't get out, and so it basically royally affects our business.
Our business on that day.
But you know, it's just something we have to deal with. Now we live in Dorchester, which is the next neighborhood over from South Boston, so we're not as directly affected by it, but you still see hordes of people traipsing down the street drunk after the parade gets out
With their plastic, green,
everything
drives me nuts.
And I did read this year that they're really trying to curb the public drunkenness.
They did it last year as well. They wrote tickets to hundreds of people, especially drinking on the streets. Where America, land of the free, you're not allowed to carry alcohol on the streets. There's only a certain states or towns like New Orleans or whatever. Most states here, you're not allowed to have alcohol on the street.
Open alcohol.
You can carry a bottle with you or whatever, but you can't drink on the street technically.
But it was, I mean, I understand because it was a mess. Like those people, there was fights, there was vomit, lots and lots of vomit. That was always fun, walking your dog the next day because there was so much vomit on the streets.
How many times are you going to say vomit?
I love that word.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's not a fun time here, even though people associate us, Boston, with St. Patrick's Day. But if you're not out to party, it's no fun.
And there's no parking.
Oh yeah, there's definitely.
And they park everywhere.
Oh yeah,
literally everywhere. Like on the grass.
They fill our neighborhood, and we're like a mile away. So
it's just how many people go to that parade? I don't even know.
It's like 70-something thousand, or is it even more than that?
It's more than that.
No, I think it was. I'm bad with that kind of thing, guessing numbers, but it's in the hundreds of thousands.
It's massive.
Yeah.
I'm saying, so people come in from all over the place. People come from New York. People come from all over the world to go to this parade, and
it's a really bad parade too.
We should be slightly proud. It's just for us. It's just been an inconvenience. Yeah. So we're not. We try to work during those days, so it's just for us. It's just been a complete and utter pain in the ass. But I'm sure people that attend it. I'm sure people that we've never even been to it.
No. Remember, it used the very first year that we lived on K Street in South Boston. I don't know if I should say the name of our street, but they came up the street. Remember?
Yeah, they came right up our street.
It was like it was right out our window. So that's the closest I've ever been to this St. Patrick's Day parade. I didn't. I just looked out my window, and that was a good way to view it because I was on the second floor. And I had a wall between me and the festivities.
I did work in a restaurant right on the parade route, and literally we had to close the kitchen down around about 2:00 in the afternoon because we just couldn't get food out of the kitchen.
And that's the new thing that they did last year that I think they're doing again this year. Remember how they made all the bars close?
Yeah, like 9:00 or something.
No, even earlier.
Yeah,
it's like 5 in the evening when most of them are open till on a Sunday at least 11, if not like even later.
So they shut them all down.
Yeah, but they used to stay open practically all night because there were people wanting to drink, but they've stopped that. Like pretty much you can't go out to a bar or a restaurant in South Boston after like 5, I think.
Yeah, so I have nothing against the St. Patrick's Day parade as long as it stays down there. And it's like I'm so old and grumpy that I couldn't give a shit. I don't like people. I don't like crowds. So to me, it's like why bother? Like we went there for lunch today.
Our normal Monday through Friday. She plays.
Yeah, we go there every Friday.
Monday and Friday. Sorry.
Yeah, Monday and Friday.
Not true.
We go there most Fridays,
mm-hmm.
and today was chaos and mayhem.
Usually there's like 2 tables and a couple guys at the bar, and that's it on a Friday. But today it was completely packed. But we're friendly with one of the servers there, and she cleared a table at the back for us, and we managed to get our lunch. But it was definitely a much louder environment than it usually is.
Yeah,
and it's going to be
worse,
crazy the rest. So we're definitely not going there for lunch on Monday because that's actually St. Patrick's Day, and I'm sure it's going to be a madhouse.
We might want to cut this whole part out of the video.
Okay. Well,
because we're talking about where we go every day for lunch.
Well, that's what editing is for, correct?
Exactly. So,
I've watched you edit many videos. Never done it myself, but you know what you're doing.
Yeah. Well, again, we don't need to keep talking about it because we're going to cut it out.
All right.
So, next subject.
Lay it on me.
My dental care.
You have bad teeth.
I don't have bad teeth. Look, I'm beautiful.
You're definitely beautiful, but you historically have a lot of problems with your teeth, and this is just the latest.
What? I just have teeth. They're normal, and I'm talking about the cost in particular. Living in this country, seeing as I'm a foreigner.
Oh yeah, the quote that the dentist threw at him, not the guy who's actually doing the work he needs, but he said it would probably be about $6,000. Which, yay.
So I'm thinking, I'm not. I always go, well, I'll just go to Guatemala and get my teeth done there.
There's something to be said for it.
Like the crown I got here was $1,600. In Guatemala, the exact same thing would have been $400. I'm there all the time.
True.
It's like, I did get my teeth cleaned there once, and it cost me a huge $24. So, and again, most people have a problem. They're like, oh, you have to watch those foreign countries because the dentists are not real and all this kind of stuff. I go into this dentist and she has her diploma from Boston University on the wall. And it wasn't a fake one. She didn't print it out. Like she spoke perfect English. She told me about all around Boston BU and how she went to the dental school and everything else and blah, blah, blah. So it's not like you don't get good care. And the machines that she was using were actually newer than the place I went today.
Well, that's not the most top-notch office. It's our community health center, which
is wonderful.
It's wonderful.
That's the end of it.
Yeah.
That's the end of it. He's not going to bemoan our community health center.
No,
It's absolutely beautiful
it's
and wonderful.
wonderful that we have that available to us.
But it's slightly underfunded.
Yes.
Anyway,
Although they did have a great optometrist who picked out these glasses for me, and I'm quite happy with them. I only had them for about a month, and I'm still quite pleased with them. I can actually read in them now. I used to have to take them off to read.
all right. So anyway, I just wanted to do a short video tonight. This is my husband. His name's Mark.
This is my husband. He's named Mark.
Okay, so we're the Marks.
We don't usually refer to each other that way, though. Some years back, our staff at our dog daycare started calling us by our last names. So that's really what.
Yeah, everybody knows me as Armor and him as Walter.
So
Even he calls me Armor.
Yeah.
So it's like,
it's just
and,
easier.
and I try not to call him.
Yeah.
So, that's...
Works for me. We'll try to come up with some real topics to talk about in the future. He just wanted to go
Politics.
ahead. Yeah. He just wanted to go ahead and jump in.
Tell him how anti-political I was.
He was. We used to I don't know.
He used to fight with me.
We did. I used to be a real knee-jerk liberal. I have since calmed myself down in that regard, and he used to be a little bit of a just contrarian, I would say.
No, not even slightly. I try to go for the middle ground always. Always did. I always say, you have to see the other people's perspective. And he would say, fuck them. I don't want to see their perspective. And I said, well, you have to, because we have to get along. We all have to work together. But right now, with this new administration and this fucker Musk, I have no time for it anymore. It's like, fuck them all. They're out. They're trying to dissolve our marriage. And that's one of the reasons why I started to speak out. It's like, they're trying to get rid of our marriage. They're harming people. They're actively going out of their way to hurt people. They took a woman who was nursing a child and deported her when she was in the middle of cancer treatment. Who the fuck does that? Why does that have to happen right now? Let them finish the treatment, and then they can kick them out if you need to do that. But this new administration is just, they're out to hurt people. They're out to cause misery. And people that are going along with this, that are not speaking out about it, I think are complacent. So if you want to see American going down the tubes, I came to this country. It was the wonderful country, the dream. Everybody wants to go to America. Well, why is everybody trying to leave America now? Even I'm thinking about my plan B, C, and D, and E, getting the fuck out of here and going somewhere else. I've kind of had enough. They're just raping their citizens, and I don't know why people aren't. Well, I've started to see the little seeds and the little protests. I see what's going on. So it's building, and I just want to add my voice to it. That's all.
And I've kind of always been sort of
anti-Republican.
Yeah, well, because the way I look at it is they're against me. So why would I compromise with them? They ultimately want to harm me and my family and everything else. So I'm not going to cut them any slack. You know what I mean? You don't like me, I don't like you.
Yeah, it's fuck you time.
Yeah, I've always been in that regard. I did, on his advice, in the past couple of years, start to calm myself, not to be so knee-jerk, to think about what's come entering my world and before I react to it. And I have, I think, done a pretty decent job.
Because what I would say to him when he would jump down my throat about what people would, I was like, that's what they want from you.
Yeah.
They want that reaction. So you're giving them exactly what they want. So think about it. Think what's going on behind that.
Right.
And then try to figure out a way that we can deal with it better. And ultimately, we might, one of the guys in my comments wrote the other day, well, you don't have to live here. I go, so I know that. I'm a foreigner. I don't have to live here. I choose to live here right now. Might not be forever.
Maybe the same for me as well. Can't really say I enjoy the direction this country is headed.
Do you want to leave it there?
I think that's good for the first night.
You sure we've riled up enough Republicans?
Sure.
Got them annoyed?
Yes.
And your stomach's rumbling?
Yes, because I'm hungry.
Ah, so today's pie day. So what that mean?
That means the pizza shop around the corner is doing a cheese pizza for $3.14. So
we gonna get one.
Yeah, that's gonna be dinner. Although I think you're getting steak tips.
Of course, I'm getting steak tips.
He has 2 meals: fried fish, and steak tips.
Yeah, and no vegetables.
No vegetables.
Vegetables are trying to kill you.
Yeah, that's.
And he's a vegetarian.
Another thing we have many disagreements over.
Why don't we mention that we're complete opposites?
Oh yeah, no, yes. We are not the kind of
we're
relationship,
not compatible,
right? Where we agree on things, we want to do the same thing. We literally butt heads constantly, but even though we're completely opposite, I think we complement each other very well. There's things that you're amazing at, that I'm not good at.
You never tell me.
Yeah, that's not true. Just ideas and wanting change and starting things and trying new things.
Yeah, I grow businesses.
No,
that's a lie. I start businesses.
He starts businesses. I run the businesses after it's done.
Once the shine has worn off it, I'm like, I'm out.
That's what he's not good at, is seeing things through. He likes it when it's new, and then he gets tired of it and he's on to the next thing. Whereas I am able to stay in it and do what needs to be done on a daily basis to make sure things happen. That's just one way we're very different. I would never have been a partial owner of a business if it weren't for him. It's just not. I don't have a entrepreneurial streak in my body, but I certainly. Most of the time, I love it. I'm glad he made it happen. I'm glad that's what we do and everything else. But it never would have happened without him. But Sam, flip side of that is it never would still be around if it weren't for me.
We'd be bankrupt.
Yes,
because I just move on to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, and I just abandoned what I'm in the middle of doing.
We started our pet care company 20 years ago.
20 years ago. Yeah.
20 years ago next month, actually.
Yeah.
The official start of it.
Yeah, I asked him to give me a year. I said he was in a brilliant job.
Well, it was a union job at a theater, so there was just really good pay at the time.
People die in those positions. Yeah. And so I said, can you go do that and give me a year to run this business and start this business and get it growing? I said, and if we're not able to function with that business within a year, I'll go back to bartending or chefing or something. And he said, yeah, okay, go ahead and do that. 4 months later, he quit the job.
Well, I had to quit the job to help him run his business.
Because we were so big.
Yes.
So,
but yeah, that was 20 years ago this year. So
awesomeness. Yeah. So we're just on here. We're going to share what we share. We're going to share our lives and what we do and what we don't do. And any questions, feel free to write them in the comments. And if you don't like us, we don't care. Write them in the comments. He's a little bit more sensitive than me.
I care. I probably will avoid the comments, but I'm sure
I'll write back to you.
Yeah, and he'll also tell me what they say too. Just because he's nice like that.
I'm very nice like that. I fill him in with all the hate and fucking. Anyway, on that note, I think we'll leave it here tonight, and we'll say goodbye. And this is Mark.
And this is Mark.
And good night.
Good night.